Hello, everyone. My name is TK with Candace Crow Design, and thank you for coming to today's webinar. I just want to clear up some housekeeping things before we get going. The webinar is being recorded, so you will receive a video copy of it in your email after the webinar. We will also have 10 minutes of Q&A at the end, so if you have questions, please hold those till the end. And now I'd like to pass it over to the host today, Sean from 4D.
Thanks everyone for joining us this morning for this third in our three-part webinar series hosted by the team over at Candace Crow Design. I am Sean Mahoney, and Christy Summer and I are representing 4D EMR today. Candace and her team have created some fantastic marketing tools specifically for the aesthetic practices like yours that have the added benefit of extending the capabilities of 4D EMR. Today we'll be talking about email marketing and learning a little bit about their practice-specific email marketing platform, Advantage Mail. Christy is going to demonstrate how 4D EMR allows you to extract specific profiles for your targeted customers for marketing efforts. And with that, I'll turn it over to Candace and TK.
Hi, I'm Candace Crow with Candace Crow Design, and this is my son TK. He's worked for the company all his life, I believe, pretty much. We've been in this industry for 24 years. You probably already know us. We do marketing, websites, digital marketing, and we have two pieces of software, Bragbook, Advantage Play, which is a digital signage, and our email marketing platform. We'll show you some examples of that later. I love email marketing. I tell everybody it's the fastest way to revenue. So I can't wait to show you how easily you can create email campaigns and a plan. So with that, I'm going to let TK do a little introduction, and then we'll get started with our slides.
Yeah, I'm TK, Candace's son. I've done a little bit of it, or I've really done everything at Candace Crow Design at one time or another. So I'm pretty versed in all the marketing channels and lingo and everything. I do believe heavily in email marketing, and I'm really excited to help you get the most out of your email marketing. We have some good tips, whether you're just starting out or you're more advanced. And so with that, I think we should just get going.
Absolutely. So the outline today, how we're going to talk, we're really trying to make a plan for 2024. Planning, we'll talk about how you create them, talk about sending and sending platforms, what to use, what not to use. We'll talk about reports, what reports really to look at, and how to get more opens in your deliveries to the inbox. That will be covered in technical. That's an important aspect. There's some things you can do so that you can assure that will make your email will make it to the inbox.
Yeah. So in the first step of planning, we have to come up with ideas. And this is something that a lot of practices and people, and even us occasionally, struggle with, but it doesn't have to be hard. You know, the first thing that you can do is you can look to your vendors. You can look to the service, the devices and services you offer. For example, next week is Botox Day. A lot of our practices have done whole month-long email and social promotions around Botox Day. Yes, I know yesterday was Dysport Day. I think I'm saying that right. But there are existing promotions from your vendors that you can piggyback on to help come up with ideas. Another great thing to do is use seasonality. Different procedures are popular at different times of the year. You can use this to help craft your email campaigns. You can also take a look at your website analytics. What procedure pages on your website are the most popular? You can create campaigns around those. You can also look at the lesser popular procedures and create campaigns to help promote those. So when it comes to the types of content that you're going to be creating, generally it's going to be promotional and educational. You know, any kind of announcements from your practice, any new services or procedures that you offer, those are great types of things to promote in your email campaigns. You want to remember that people like to skim things now, so you want to use a balance of text and images. You want to make that text skimmable, like I said, with bullet points, bolded parts of text, that's most important. Before and afters are also always a great item to add. And then we like to put reviews as well in our emails. That gives a little bit of social proof.
And then you want to make it skimmable. We're just going to kind of watch this animated video on the right here. So you can just see an example of an email put together that's pretty balanced with images and copy. Somebody can just skim through this. It's got some validation, got some social in there, some reviews, and then a nice footer at the end. So how do you make time for it? Well, you just have to make time for it. You know, you put it on your calendar, you set an alarm for 10 minutes before, whatever. And you do it once a week, put an hour into it, and you'll be fine. I like to work with our clients towards the end of the year. I call them all. We go through a planner together and we get a draft for 2024. It doesn't have to be perfect, but at least we get a draft. And then we finalize each month, you know, 2 weeks prior to that month, but we can adjust. But getting a draft is really helpful.
Yeah. So once you have, you know, your ideas and you've come up with some content and you're ready to publish it, you want to make sure that you use an official email marketing platform. You should not be sending your emails from Outlook or from your Gmail account to your whole email list. You're going to have better results if you use a system like ours, like Advantage Mail, that is specifically designed for the aesthetic industry. All of the templates, all of the ready-made content in there is specific to the types of things you're going to be promoting. You can, of course, use other options like MailChimp or Constant Contact, but it is important to use an official email marketing platform.
Yeah, for example, in Advantage Mail, you're going to find templates for Bra Day. You're going to find templates for Bro Talks. You're going to find, you know, just M-Sculpt templates, Cool Sculpt templates, you know, specific for our industry that you can just take and update and use. And then big question is, where do you start? We start with copy, and our copy document looks something like what you see on the right. We run some subject lines, and actually we have a subject line generator that we'll share with you when we do a follow-up email with you, and it will score your subject line for you. And then you include the preview text in your document. That's the text that they see when it comes into their inbox. We include the headline for our designer, and then copy with links in it. And then our designer just takes this copy and does a nice layout. We always make sure there's clear call to actions. And then we have a really strong footer. And we got an example of a footer in a couple slides from now that we'll go over. Right here.
Yeah, so from the copy document, we like to put our emails together in kind of a modular fashion. You know, you have your first section with the hero or masthead, the main module, that's usually your main call to action, whether that's a promotion, an open house, a new service you're offering, and then secondary and tertiary modules for kind of your second and third offerings. And then the before and after photos, possibly a menu of services, reviews, and we have some examples we're going to show you. And then, like Candace said, that real strong footer. We like to use a picture of the practice that just helps kind of cement the
drive by.
Yeah, when people drive by it or when they see it, that helps reinforce what your practice looks like.
Or a picture of the surgeon, you know, the provider. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to do all 4 modules. It could just be 1 or 2. Don't make it any bigger there or longer than this. They get pretty long sometimes if you go more than that. Mm-hmm. All right, so here's why we do a modular one. On the left, we have our email, right? Let's go ahead and click that so it rolls. And then it's easy to actually separate the sections out, and you can create social posts from that, and you can create your digital signage for your TV inside. If you don't have a digital signage platform, then just make a PowerPoint and you can run those through. And then we like to include a flyer, because you're going to want that front office, receptionist, whoever's answering the phone, to know all the specials for the month. You don't want them hollering back to the back, well, what was that special again? You know, but have a flyer up there so they can answer all the questions that come in from the emails. And if somebody wants, you can pass them out to some of your patients that are interested.
Mhm. So you've got your email laid out, you've got all your content loaded, you're almost ready to send. What do you do next? We have a pre-sending checklist that we run through every single time. We update our latest subscriber file, our usually a CSV file. It basically looks like an Excel file, but all of our newest subscribers from the last month, we make sure to add those. We like to print out the email and proofread it on paper. That helps cut down on errors. And then lastly, we send test emails to some of our employees internally. We click every link, we click to call the phone numbers. We just really enforce that everything is working properly. It doesn't look good when you have to send out a correction. It does happen from time to time, but sometimes it's good to kind of catch those things before you send them.
So one note on that CSV file, I'd like you to include the first name and the email address, nothing more. The first name, because it's really nice to personalize those emails. You know, you get an email that says, "Hi, Sean," it's, you know, and then you go into it. It's just much more personal that way. And of course, I know you want your readers to feel like you care about them, and it just adds that little bit of personal touch there.
Mhm.
All right, so we get asked a lot, you know, how often should we send? We like to send twice a month, and we like to send on the first of the month something that, you know, includes your specials, any events that are happening that month. If you're having an open house, make them aware of that. And then on the 15th or thereabouts, we like to do one that's more informative. Like it may feature an esthetician, it may feature a new treatment that you're offering, but more educational, less promotional, more like relationship building. So as you can see, the 1st and the 15th are Wednesdays. They're okay days to send. You may, you know, I would say go ahead and send it on the 1st, but you may do the 15th on the 14th, right? You know, just that's flexible there. And then we don't like to send on Fridays because the office is usually closed on a Saturday and Sunday, you know. So sometimes if Friday falls on the 1st, we'll send it on a Thursday, and then we'll go ahead and send it again on Monday or Tuesday to the unopens, you know, with a different subject line and maybe even a different image for the masthead.
Mhm.
So, you know, utilizing the resending to the unopens, especially if it falls on a Friday.
Yeah, and there is an idea of conditioning your subscribers to expect emails at certain times of the month. The more often you can send consistently on those times, the more they kind of expect it and the better your open rates will be. The caveat to that is that it never hurts to kind of include an email at a time that you're not used to sending. It kind of spurs the spontaneity of it, can help as well.
And then, you know, sometimes you might want to just do kind of like a greeting card email, like for Thanksgiving or Christmas, you know, just not even promotional or Hanukkah or one of those, but just a greeting card.
Mm-hmm. So now we're shifting into the reports. There's a lot of things we can dive into here. The main things you want to look at are generally your open rate and your click-through rate. We have, from our hundreds of thousands of emails that we've sent, we expect about a 20% or higher open rate for a successful campaign, and then about a 1 to 2% click-through rate as a sign of success as well. The click-through rate is basically just anybody that took an action from the email. They called your office, they went to your website, whatever that is, that action, the CTA, and that's what the click-through rate represents. Bounces you do want to pay attention to as well. Generally, most modern email service providers are going to automatically remove any hard bounces, email addresses that hard bounce. But if they're not, you want to make sure you clean those out. Soft bounces are less important, but still you want a healthy email subscriber list has relatively low bounce rate. Unsubscribes and spam complaints are also important. Generally on those statistics, we're looking for about a 0.15% or less to be considered successful. Also important to note here is that unsubscribes are better for you than spam complaints. Spam complaints trigger to the your what's called your sending score that you may be doing. If you have too many of them, you may be doing something kind of nefarious. So we want to make sure when you're thinking about these emails that we don't want our email subscribers to unsubscribe, but an unsubscribe is better than a spam complaint.
Absolutely. So one thing that's often overlooked are your automated campaigns. They take a little time to set up, but they're well worth it. The first one I really recommend is a welcome. So when you have somebody subscribe to your email list from your website, it's an email that goes out automatically that is a welcome email. Welcome to our newsletter. You might say, you know, like come in for a 25% gift card you can put towards something in that, but 74% expect a welcome email. It's just like, you know, when you answer the phone, you say hello, you know, when they sign up, you say hello. And their open rate is 68.6%, which is way over 20%, right? So why not do that? Birthdays are always nice to I mean, to celebrate the day somebody's born is really special, isn't it? So getting your automated birthday cards set up through your email campaign is cool. You can do some surveys and even anniversaries. It's your 10-year anniversary on your facelift, you know, like our 10-year anniversary of meeting us or something like that. You can be creative with that. But there's all sorts of ideas for automated campaigns. So feel free to contact us and we'll help you.
One big one that I do see regularly missed is the automated response when someone submits a form on your website.
Yeah.
It's important to get them back a message right away. You know, they expect it. It shows that you're responsive, even if you don't follow up for an hour or so. That is a big one, and it will help not only your email, but your website success.
We have one client that has really done a fantastic job of setting up automated campaigns. And for even like his breast dog patients, he'll have a journey already. You know, when they sign up for breast augmentation, they get an automated email from the patient care coordinator with all the information in there already. It's pretty cool. You can go really deep in the automated campaigns.
So a few other items to talk about the technical side of email. Want to ensure that your emails are making it to their inbox and not to their spam filter. When you're setting up your email sending platform, you want to make sure you verify your sending domain. This is your URL. Verifying basically adds a little piece of code to your DNS settings, and it just tells the email service provider that you are who you say you are, and you can use your, you know, drshawn.com domain. Like I said, that cuts down on the risk that you're going to go into their spam. It also helps your sending score, which is just a signal to the.
Yeah, this is often overlooked. I mean, often overlooked. So if you want, feel free to call TK. He'll help you with that.
Yeah.
I volunteered him. He's my son.
Happy to help. Yeah. And another topic that doesn't get discussed a lot is list maintenance. Generally, you want to, if a subscriber hasn't opened an email in about 3 to 6 months, we consider those subscribers inactive. And we like to segment those subscribers out so that our main list is generally all active subscribers. This helps with, I know I've been talking about the sending score a lot, but it does help with your sending score when you have better metrics on your emails. And you can also do something called a re-engagement campaign, like every 6 months or a year, to that inactive list, and try to move some of those subscribers over to your active list. And I think that's it on list.
I think that might be it. Yeah. So we'll go right into, I think, Christy now. She's going to show you how to pull a list from 4D. Hang on. Start over there.
So from the schedule, you can simply click on reports. We're going to go down to marketing and patient export. For this list, because we're starting out after a practice has moved into using 4D, we're going to pull a list of patients with any status who have been seen, who have any marketing preferences. They must have an email address, and they haven't been seen since March 1st of this year. Once we get this list, we're able to then choose the export button. We're going to export it as a CSV file, which will then allow us to clean this list up very easily, either hiding or deleting rows and columns that we don't need. You know, here at 4D, I'm always happy during implementation, we go over this list, but we can always go over it again and answer any questions as you're starting to use the system.
Awesome. That, Christy, I just want to maybe dive into a couple other areas here that I see.
Yeah.
One is it looks like you can segment the list by gender, by the type of procedure they've had, as well as when they were last seen.
Correct. So, for example, we've got a couple of practices that have a very large quantity of their patient group that are non-binary or transgender, and they have certain marketing that they would like to provide to those groups of people to let them know that they are a safe space for them. As we're learning from the ASPS currently, one of the top procedures people are having done currently are blepharoplasties. And that has been on the rise largely in the last couple of years, especially for younger people. And with that, you can filter by procedure for blepharoplasty and market things like laser treatments or hydrofacials to those that have had them, say, in the last 3 or 4 months. So there's quite a bit that we can do to break your list out, whether it be even by age, and say that you're running, you know, an anti-aging campaign for those in their 20s. You know, baby Botox is so huge right now as well.
That's
Baby
great.
Botox?
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, that brings up a point, you know, like another list, a great list would be to pull all the injectables that haven't been in the last 6 months and do a re-engagement campaign for them.
Yeah, I really want to highlight the power of being able to segment your list like that and create targeted campaigns to specific segments of your list that helps you craft successful campaigns and will improve your email marketing ROI.
Exactly.
Thanks, Christy. You're gonna have to come work for us.
Okay.
So we're just going to show you a little bit of fun from some of the templates that we have in Advantage Mail. You can see that they're pretty specific for our industry. They include some animated GIFs and stuff like that. And you're welcome to give us a call and we'll go through that with you. The other thing that we have for you, we'll email out to all the people that signed up, is a planner for 2024. Now, I call it the 4-hour planner because it really goes through a marketing strategy. But, you know, if you don't have time for that, skip to page 7 and it's January through December and you just create the plan. We also have another document that goes with this, and we've collected specials throughout the country. We have at least 3 ideas for each month that people have been doing throughout the country to promote their practices. And if you take these 2 side by side and just start filling in for the month what works for your practice, you'll at least have a rough outline of a plan. And that is no charge. You may call us. We'll get you taken care of.
Awesome. Well, that concludes our presentation on email marketing. We would like to open it up to questions from the audience, and we would ask that you put those in the chat. And I believe we might have a couple of questions.
Where do we find those?
Any questions? Anything we can go over again?
Well, I know one thing that I think is important to go over, and that is using Outlook to send your emails. Tell us what happens if you use Outlook or Gmail.
Well, generally you won't have a good deliverability. When you're mass sending from a email client that is mostly focused on, you know, communication back and forth with one person, and you send out a bulk email to like 400 people, it might make it to, you know, the first 10% of those, but then the rest will get flagged and it won't get sent.
So we have one client that actually did that and carbon copied everybody so that the receivers could see every single person that was emailed to, and that did end up in a lawsuit. So, you know, you want to be judicious about sending.
Yeah. You want to use an official email marketing platform. We do have a couple questions here. The first one is any tools to help create subject lines? Yeah, there are a few options for subject lines.
We'll put that in the email follow-up for you.
Yeah.
There are subject line generators and they actually rate them for you. And it's actually easier for us to just send you the link. So we'll do that.
Yeah, it's called headlines, but we'll send it in a follow-up email, and it helps with subject lines. It helps with, you know, titles of website pages. It helps with a lot of things, and you just put in a subject line. There's some tools to help generate one if you're lacking ideas, but then it also kind of grades it and tells you how, you know, gives you a kind of score from 1 to 100 about how effective it might be.
Yeah, there's some words to avoid, and in that software, there's a free version, so don't worry.
Mhm.
You know, you'll know which words to avoid.
Yeah,
And then we have one, what makes Advantage Mail unique? Well, it's specific for the industry. And when you call support, you get myself, you get TK, or you get Adam, you get somebody, a live person that works with aesthetic practices day in and day out. And we're glad to help. Any other questions? We've got about 4 minutes left. Well, if there's not any other questions, we were thankful for you to be join our webinar. We're thankful for you, and we'd love to reconnect after the webinar and help in any way we can. So 4D, Sean over there, and Christy, what can you say our closing remarks?
You know, just wanted to thank everyone. This is, you know, a relationship that's special to us. You know, when we have the ability to, you know, share knowledge with our integration partners like Candace Crowe, this benefits, of course, you know, it provides a lot of great information in a cohesive format for our practices, but it's also good for us. You know, we appreciate these relationships and the time to share it with all of you. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and I'll just add one thing. We're going to be doing this again next year, but we've got a few extra people to add in. Like we've got a software that is an integration partner that it does reviews. And so there's a few other integration partners that you should know about with 4D EMR, and we'll include those in the webinar and come up with a topic list. So if you have ideas that you would like us to do webinars on, please let us know. And other than that, Christy, anything in closing? Yeah, you do training for all these people, so.
If you have any questions about pulling your patient export reports or any other reports, or you know, you need a quick follow-up on something, if you email myself or support@4d-emr.com, each office gets 2 30-minute trainings a month at no charge, and we're happy to get you slated in and get you trained. Otherwise, happy holidays and enjoy Thanksgiving in 2 weeks.
There we go.
That sounds
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you.
Bravo. Thank you.